You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. 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 Feel like something.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage, yeah. I celebrate one last late night, my whole life, they stay.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA.
Miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I'd have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. Had to remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down. From getting
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced, 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm letting loose. I'm
an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. Best in the game, we all know my name. Can't run now, it's too late. Got winning in my blood, in my DNA. It's destiny, it's fate. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable, I'm invincible. Unbreakable, unbeatable, undefeatable, I'm invincible. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil, let him let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof.
We're not the only ones. 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 Days gone. I won't waste another one. Oh, that darkness, it won't set me back again. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Take me back to you. Just shake the ground. Oh, this lightness, it will fill the air around. Oh, I'm not asleep or awake. I won't let the future escape. Back to you. We're
coffee to help ease my brain. There's no time to play. Climb out the sheets, find the jeans from a previous day. Grab the keys from off the counter, commute into the city, gonna take another hour. Man, I hate trading time for a way. At least I got a home and a job that pays. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
You look like a child. Well, thank you very much, Johnson. I've been very lucky down here. Feeling better than I did up north.
Collars itching, face is switching. Another cup of joe and I'm fine. Come 5, I can burn a fresh dime. Lifting up the burdens, putting weight on my mind. Bet if I didn't chase that and embrace distractions, master my lack of faith and break through. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive. I'm holding out, but as I fight, I feel my colors wash away. Been finding my ground in the light of the hours I can't claim. 'Cause in time I restore my complexion and find that I left my distractions behind. In the meantime, I'll blindfold my pride and keep hold of my time like it's gold. Faded from color, reaching to find when I wonder how. Saying it'll all be fine, while you sit around and waste your time. Faded from color, stuck in the backseat and told to drive.
Yeah. La 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 la. Yeah. Your life hits hard, but I hit right back. I never back down. I keep it on track. It's the same day with no problems. I keep rising from the bottom. 'Cause when the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear that sound. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and then I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, 'cause I got no problems. Yes, every day was a war. Yeah, it kinda took a while. When they tell me I should stay, I just jump with a smile. Yeah, it's hard until you notice. Everybody's got their moment. When the sun comes up and I look around, I can feel that love, I can hear the sound. Listen up. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now, and then I need to worry about, 'cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, 'cause I got no problems. 'Cause I got no problems. 'Cause I got no problems. Do you feel a little down? Say it. No problems. want you out singing, no problem. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Have none I need to worry about, cause I got no problem. They're never gonna hold me down. I'm higher than the ceiling now. Have none I need to worry about, cause I got no problems. I know it's gonna be alright. It's getting better every time. Nobody's gonna kill my vibe, cause I got no problems. If you wanna be my love, boy, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know. If you wanna be my love, boy, gotta take it slow. If you wanna be my love, I'll show you what you wanna know.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Good evening and welcome back to Week 10 here of ESL Challenger League in North America. My name is Get the Bag Mark. I am returning here with old Vincent Cass for a bloody banger today. We got BLUEJAYS taking on the Mongolian core of Akimbo.
Dude, I'm excited. I have actually not had the privilege to get to like cast this team under the BLUEJAYS name very often. I think just one time since they've been picked up. So I'm pumped for that. And you know me, I've been a fan of this Akimbo roster since they came together, and I'm a fan as well as they have been trying to make their way here through ECL. It's been up and down, but still a whole lot of fun coming up.
Ooh, and it's even some more fun happening on our A stream tonight. It looks like you have the newly wedded core of Party Astronauts taking on some of the new faces in town. Actually, their faces are quite familiar, but under a new banner, Marsborn have been doing a lot of damage in Season 49, Vincent, have been doing quite well. But, you know, we hop back on board with the BLUEJAYS team that has been quite busy these last couple of days.
Dude, they have. I mean, and to be honest with you, man, they've been close at every single turn in some of these qualifiers. It's been fantastic to see what they've been able to do. A full best of 5 against M80 in the Astana qualifier just a little bit ago. But as you can see, it's been going well for them, not just in those qualifiers, but here in the regular season as well. 19 wins to just 7 losses. And as a whole, I feel like when you look at kind of the ups and downs of what can be a very long season here at ECL, you know, their losses include like a loss to Marsborn that was pretty early on, and then they had to forfeit to getting info. Like those are the only like bad beats that this BLUEJAYS team has had all season.
Yeah, and that forfeit just coming, right, I think last night or the day prior to when they had to go ahead and play in the finals against NRG, and I think we're barely able to squeak by that. It was 4 maps that ended up going through total. But we know those best of 5s can be quite lanky. We know that from lengthy. We know that from Lisbon, Vincent. Some great Counter-Strike that we've seen all from the beginning of the week until now, right? Can you see how this is currently going? We will acknowledge, because I don't know that we've had the opportunity to do so on broadcast since LAG have disbanded. They will unfortunately be remaining at the 16th spot there as our season goes along, but getting info, picking up Fang and the #1 spot, this seems to be a pretty competitive thing now.
I mean, it truly does. I also, just to kind of note on Akimbo, I know we didn't talk about them. They're sitting in 9th right now at 11-9. That means that they're in a little bit of a tough spot. Like, they really need these wins as we get to the back end of the season. You know, they're in playoffs right now, but they aren't guaranteed that spot, not by a long shot.
No, absolutely not. And I mean, considering that like Marsborn, they are really, really requiring themselves to get an opportunity like that, right? And this is a guy that will know that aforementioned squad so well. Our player to watch tonight is Wolf, one of the players that at the Blue Jays just biggest rip out. I was about to say this month. It's newly April, so give me a break here. Back at Frag X the Block, they ended up winning that event and really spiking themselves high in the conversation for VRS as we cruise 5 days, if I am correct, towards those MRQs.
Yeah, it's true. We're
the
right
qualification
around
cutoff,
the corner.
excuse me.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, I think that Wolf has been a big part of that, the pickup to this team. I didn't think it was bad at any point, but I had questions whether or not it would be as good as it has been, and I think those questions have been easily answered over time. Here's how the bans went on our first go around of this best of one, though, as we are heading into back-to-back best of ones coming in here, and it leads us into a Nuke where it's a little bit tough because Akimbo's Nuke hasn't looked the greatest more recently, but they are proficient, I would say, on Nuke, even though it doesn't look like that from the recent results. The bad news for this Akimbo team is that Blue Jays have looked really good on Nuke. This is what's allowed them to. You talked about the fact that, you know, they were playing at Fragadelphia, but like, yeah, that's a best of 5 there that went the distance. You referred back to the M80 game and the Astana qualifier. You know, that they 4 maps, a best of 5. Like, this is a team with an incredibly deep map pool, Blue Jays, and that's what's a little bit scary for Akimbo coming into tonight.
100%. And that's where you're going to be able to kind of lent into what is definitely going to be maybe feel like a one-sided affair looking into the beginning of a Nuke like this, where I know that we have received a little bit of news before we went exactly from the green room to the broadcast tonight. We know Akimbo is going to be without N2O, a very important member to this Mongolian lineup, and joins them as another Mongolian member. People up, we're going to get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, we were discussing how do you say this guy's name. I don't actually know. If you do know, let us know. I'm going with Pew 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 though. That's my default. I apologize if that's wrong. We just got word about it, so
it's a foreshadowing nickname.
Go find
perhaps.
and ask.
Maybe he's going to let that thing go here, and towards A potentially, right around the bin, and the nade to just clear a door. So it's our player to watch right around that corner, and Wolf goes one and then done, and then the Canadian cornerstone cleans up top with the assist of Fruit Cup X in from Mini. A very easy pistol round that falls the way of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, nasty couple of shots with those dualies for Freshy. Lovely stuff. And, you know, Blue Jays off to a hot start for sure. Losing Neo, you know, Neo not being in the server tonight, that's a big hit. That's the AWP player here for Akimbo. And as much as, you know, we don't have a ton of information about their sub, I just feel like that's a tough loss no matter how well PPP plays. And, you know, it's not really about what he will or won't do. It's just about, you know, that empty space left in the Akimbo roster tonight.
Which has been sort of a conversation of the difference here as ZY takes a big fight outside. Obi gets the next look into it, and ZY barely remains up top. But you saw a member track on to this squad, Consti, a player that you may have seen before on Fluffy Aimers around the North American scene, as Snav going to be very close to ZY here. You'll maybe see the end of that engagement momentarily, but Consti picked up the AWP for the Akimbo squad and then routinely transferred over to Vagrants. As I am giving you the diagnosis, it's Cameron that is pulling in 2 Deagle kills. Could be a third out of the sub with some decent damage that does come in through Akimbo's efforts. Vincent wouldn't call that a complete loss.
No, not a complete loss, but this is an Akimbo team that really likes to keep the pressure up, and it does mean that those purchases are costly, right? Like, look at the investments this round. Dude, they're gonna have like no utility for this fight. It's currently a couple of smokes. Cameron's got the full kit, and CY is going to be able to afford a little bit more thanks to picking up a Galil, but yeah, 3 smokes total, 1 molly for Nuke, that's just not enough usually.
Not going to be nearly enough. And so the only registered substitute on that Akimbo roster is going to be Going into the lane. No, Lax, you gotta get out of the way of that spam. It's Slight is gonna go 2 for 2 off of the back of his hand. That is a little ridiculous to start off this third round. Even got a spotting up into that player at top silo. Slight, you better stop swiping. He is close to getting this third, but I think the damage done, his life being up is what matters the most.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, Slate taking all those peaks and not really getting punished for it is a bit absurd in and of itself. Obi can't quite connect the shots, and that's a bit frustrating for him. Finally, it's the trade frag, but that's as Cameron goes down. So it's both he and ZY that are left here for the clutch. A little bit of a lower HP bar there on the snap, and Slate half health, thanks to Obi's previous engagements, but this doesn't change how difficult it's going to be for Akimbo to break back through.
And Wolf is tucked all the way into the mini corner. You've got to really bring the jaws down upon this wrap. And, oh, there's a shadow scene. So you get that alert over from Big Garage. That's information given. And then you get the behind part of this setup. Great look in 4 alive out of it. That's the first gun round that's melted away from Akimbo.
Yeah, and listen, I don't think BLUEJAYS really have to be too worried in that round. They get fortunate for Slight to track down 2 freebies through the smoke. And so they're easily able to have the relief of just having that man advantage the whole time. So Slight can continue to afford to fight from the back of credit. No problems whatsoever. BLUEJAYS, unfortunate, I think, for Akimbo that they start that round on such a bad footing. Oh, that's not bad. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be through traffic right now. You're going to try and pull over a couple more players. I would say that the majority of this BLUEJAYS crew has been prepared for this stop. Freshy, we last checked in with him in that pistol round, the dualies, but he's up with the AK, and hey, maybe a couple more pistols to check. He'll break 2 of these next, and Freshy will fade out.
Leaves Laxi, who is incredibly deadly on this deagle, but has, I think, to be fair, more recently struggled a little bit. Trying to have a big impact in a 1v4. Doesn't have the bomb. Has to try and collect that from Freshy.
Good luck.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I think Freshy's falling back here, so grab that up. But how do you get onto the site proper? Crossfire set. Fruit Cup and Freshy clocking in the cubby there.
The Deagle just searches for it, and now you give it a go, popping right into the belly of the beast. It's 4 up alive again, and I'm already starting to sound like a broken record, though. I think we expected a bit of a one-sided start from the BLUEJAYS, especially getting into the defense.
I don't know if, I expected like a one-sided start, particularly, outside of it just being the defense, but I think, BLUEJAYS definitely highly favored in this matchup. That becomes even more so when you're talking about your sub stepping in. And, I don't even know, like, how much time these guys have had, like, playing with their sub.
And we don't know much about this player. We looked on their profile, are playing an FPL, right? Getting some great reps out there from what we can tell, so Akimbo, they'll pull together the squad today. Freshy gets a very crucial trade onto Obi. That was within a very nice info for Akimbo, but, it's kind of humorous to think back, like, what, Taggy's finally found a home. I know Dan's is still within North America, but is busy, right? A couple of these Akimbo subs have went on to new beginnings.
Where's Highs at?
He's on Mythic.
That's right. Unfortunate. Oh, nice find. That's a double up there from Pew Pew Pew. Easy enough, and turns the tides of this round. It was a disadvantage, now turned victorious, as now Wolf is about to be isolated and pressed at the issue here on A.
Oh, and in just the perfect spot, but a really labored work onto that spray, and look at how it just pops out of the vent. It's light that says hello, and it may just be less a surprise onto that last player. Just a double punishment let out of the scope right at the end, makes it 3 total for that gentleman. Slight is starting out 8-1. That's pretty dang impressive.
Yeah, Slight, having a lot of good performances here more recently with BLUEJAYS. I think, this team's struggles in the past before the Snav iteration of this squad. You know, they've lived and died a little bit too much by Slight, but now it feels like that's not the case with Fruit Cup, with Wolf here available. Snav, you know, providing a lot more firepower than they had before as well in the leadership department. So a lot to love about what Blue Jays have been doing. They continue that to a 5th round victory.
Quick hit here. Cameron gonna be seen out of this smoke and just exactly depleted. When we went on to see Akimbo go ahead and win season 50 of Advanced, it was through very, very puggy efforts, right? Showing off their individual skill that was just far and none ahead of much of the competition that they laid their hands on. But, right, when you go to challenge mechanical skill, Fruit Cup is not the player you want to be lenting into a 1v1. He goes ahead and defends ramp only for a moment, but this Blue Jays machine is working perfectly. Instant trade, they're keeping tabs on outside, ready to get this kill that looks a little bit awkward up the fray, definitely. 1v2 up for the sub now.
That's absurd that Obi's going to get 2 out of that. Great trade out of Slight, but Freshy's down at the lower bomb site, which means that his Slight is going to resettle himself, his feet up in heaven. PPP's got a very real opportunity to win this. Smoke, flash, nade is in the kit to work with. Taking his time to clear out all of these different avenues of approach to make sure that there's no mistakes to be made. The problem is, as soon as he tries to get this bomb down, Slight can become a problem, and in fact, he's going to nade the smoke open. Doesn't commit to it. Nice shot for Pew Pew Pew. Slight goes down. That's all up to Freshy.
The first round could come on the board of Akimbo through one more member of the Mongolian Corps pulled to when they exactly needed him. Put yourself in a great chance to actually go ahead and do this, but have to remember the heroics of Obi that brought us this far. Freshy just really playing this outside of the box. So patient, but maybe so pristine, not seen on the timing, and now Freshy is just going to crawl up, but they've switched spots. Now you're defending the bomb from this corner, and Freshy just doesn't know what to think. It's going to be a smoke in the bomb, and Freshy is going to attempt this, and Freshy wins the fight, has the kit, and it's looking like 6 creeping all the way through, and it is just enough time.
What an incredible effort from Pew Pew Pew. Unfortunately for him, I mean, it is genuinely a game of timing right there. Freshy gets a vision, and it's a step further back for Pew 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 that doesn't come at the right time. Allows Freshy the moment he needs to readjust the crosshair. Lovely work from Freshy to clutch that one back up. Advantage had for Blue Jays, brought back by Obi, and almost taken through to the end by Pew Pew Pew, but nonetheless, Akimbo stays scoreless in this nuke.
Big opportunity for them to, you know, show around that we were just kind of serving up theme-wise, where you were just going to be able to kind of catch Blue Jays off guard when they least expected you, but 6-0 is the mark, and you're not even going to really feel how close it is because the tension is still just that distance with Akimbo teasing an IA hit right now. Freshy doesn't know what to think.
Out ahead of that smoke? I don't think so. So that door smoke refresh means that Akimbo have to wait a little bit longer. Slides up in position, but they're going to refresh it again and break it open. Obi might be in trouble. Fortunately, steps away perfectly. Here's the nade coming. All of these guys readied in lobby. No yard control. Full space there. Snav is out at red. So there's no information that Akimbo are denying. Blue Jays have a very clear understanding of where these guys are at.
CY goes ahead and joins the rest of the crew right at the end, and it is a very anticlimactic spill onto the bomb site. They have to go on a pressured tempo because these are the bounds they've placed themselves within, but they are rising above their expectations for where these A hits have had to have gone in the previous. They get the trades out. Even if it is sublet, they go in with the ownership, the confidence that we know an Akimbo crew to have anyway. Fruit Cup likely to hold on to this rifle.
I'm a little surprised at how little Blue Jays actually punish Akimbo for waiting for a minute and a half almost and doing nothing with the map. Like, Akimbo had literally 0 map control when they go for that A attack. And Blue Jays knew it. Oh my goodness. Thought maybe we were seeing a A little fruit cup attempt ninja right there. Take a couple with him. But it is Akimbo on the board. First time over on Nuke that they've had that privilege.
And honestly, a bit of a shaken up moment for them. I mean, old Captain Wolf has got a whole bank account behind him, likely to maybe serve up what could be, a nice little crawl into, share a couple of MP9s with a Love Vincent, a Lobby Crunch.
Hey.
Always, works for me, but they've got other plans.
That's Commander Wolf to you.
Did I? Oh, goodness gracious.
You goofed it.
And I'm a phony.
Yeah, all the people who care, they know.
I understand the pain. You know how I am with my niche subjects.
I do. Any wire references?
Ugh, I just got to get them right. I'll go ahead and take my charge there. The references, not on par today. Yours? Different story.
Well, you'll get there. It's time plenty for us to recover, to reset, and Akimbo thinking the same thing for themselves as they just contact out here towards the ramp side. It felt like Slight had a connection, might have even doubled up, but that nade and the molly to follow are just enough for him to be taken down. Akimbo have opened the door for the B-bomb site.
And it's just on Fruit Cup here. The backup is going to be so far. Low HP Laxi peeked into first. It's Fruit Cup with all three right out of the A1S. It's the test that he passes with flying colors, and the final two members of Akimbo are going to have to hold on to this one for dear life. But Wolf, and Freshie, what a timing they get. But who does this favor more? Likely Obi turning the corner right now, going to lay eyes on the first. Not ready for the slap down by Freshie. A 1v1.
He's on the open. I feel like that's going to be so unexpected, and it is. Freshie can't believe his eyes. The camera is so incredibly exposed.
And a volley.
Massive. Knows that he's back. Double door as well. Just tap under the bomb, but he's playing a little bit of a dangerous game. Dropping the gun. Oh my goodness, he doesn't get away with it. Cameron waits out those 3 seconds.
Cameron is just a magician of some sorts. I'm not an engineer by any sorts, Vincent. I've never claimed to be a businessman that I can rely on the skeevy tricks that Cameron puts down. Game meets game. How the heck does he open one door right there to get that peak and lower? Am I the only one that's seeing this?
I think it's when if there's like a gun in the way, it'll open offset like that. That's what I'm going with. I'm sticking to the guns there. Either way, Akimbo doubled up in rounds, and now they've doubled down in breaking Blue Jays' economy.
We got a Zeus fan at the observer table today, and I'm sitting right next to him.
2 peas in a pod.
Absolutely. Will Freshie get it? We don't know. Leaning into the later this goes, I like his odds, but it seems to be back to Old Faithful. They just cleared out ramp. They're not going to resist the temptation round 9.
Yeah, big win in this area last round. Fruit Cup almost put an end to it, though. It's Slight. He's the only one down on the Bravo base at the moment. And he's got a USB. So even if Akimbo do head this direction, I don't think that Slight's going to be able to put up that sort of defense.
And he gives them the audio cue of that one door just trying to close, maybe baiting in a rotation away, but it's the mind games that Slight is now going to play and really try and cast to perfection. It's the clock that he has in his pocket, checks it, it's 30 seconds, he's just got to stay alive, and Wolf swoops in as he does. A hero today, and a 7th is on the way for the Blue Jays. Well, it's right dang there.
I'm just really confused at why Akimbo are so laissez-faire about trying to clear out the B site. Like, why do they think it's so clear? That's what I want to know. Yeah, they spotted somebody in hell. They know that there's presence towards A, but like Slight was on B the whole time. They never killed a ramp player, so I just don't know where they thought the ramp guy was. Maybe just assumed that there was some sort of stack. Regardless, that's massive for Wolf. A triple kill to pull back a round, which is Deagles and USPs.
Keep him guessing. Oh, and this is not going to be something that they expect. A Mag 10 out red this far in the half. Well, Snap, you've just got to be spreading some salt into the wound right now, though. This has been a part of Blue Jays stance sort of the entire time, right? In all of these rounds, particularly early in this one, as Fruit Cup is just going to be lighting up the scoreboard. It's been Snab who has not been shy outside at all. They've really been keeping them guessing on the extremities as OB goes ahead and finally trades out Snav.
Honestly, I just feel like Snab hasn't been tested as much as I would have hoped out in Yard. You know, here and there, it's been the case, but he's very often been able to define the control of that area of the map for Blue Jays without much of a problem. Akimbo not fighting for it as aggressively as you would typically anticipate for a T-side on Nuke. That being said, this T-side, it's winding down to a close. 2 rounds, a back-to-back, but they couldn't take the third because even against the Eco, Wolf dominated. And now it could be even less. It could be near nothing for Akimbo if they don't bring it back now.
I mean, you definitely want to lent in to an 8-4. I mean, specifically against the margins today. What we know, firepower is available within this cabinet. Freshie, exposed right on top of the hut, may have been kind of hinting in for a bit of a quicker finish towards this, maybe a faster start right on, and it's through door that Laxi is just going to be sliding all the way in. Oh, but it's so hectic. While those paths come all the way through, in the meantime, it's Blue Jays that come up with 3 kills when they had the worst positioning, Vincent. They seem bulletproof at the moment.
I mean, I would even push back maybe on them having the worst positioning of that situation. That flash that Freshie throws is there to try and disrupt the play through door. He's got the support of Snav as well and his site player. So, you know, whilst it might look a little bit tentative at first, we saw when tested, Blue Jays, they'd bend, but they do not break.
Old Cameron giving it a shot at the 1v4. The lone representative that is seen bringing that Akimbo banner anywhere at that same Fragadelphia land that we saw Blue Jays won. I know the Akimbo banner was taken by Cameron in a Pug Mix team. We obviously saw them in Chicago earlier this year, Vincent. And, I mean, you kind of know that a lot of these teams that win advanced have to get it's already April. I don't like how fast the time is going. They have to sit there and like focus on other competitions, focus on maybe the scrims and the reps that are going to be developing as they have to wait till that next season of ECL, right? And Akimbo has done great work with the reps that they have gotten this season, but they need to finish hard. Snab with an opening gunfight, winning that outside. It's going to be Fruit Cup challenge next onto the ramp, and right here it's going to be damped onto that first player, and Fruit Cup is now on the run.
We're just fighting ramp with no flashes, no utility, no nothing, trying to challenge Fruit Cup? I think not. I just cannot get behind that. He'll finally be bested, but he's done a ton of damage to Pew 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 in the process. Adjustment made, but Snav is quicker. And with that, Akimbo, unfortunately, they are lacking a whole lot left. Pew 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 and ZY are left to try and clean up the pieces.
Oh, and it's Slight. Takes out the knee. He can't decide. Has them both out now. Whips out the sidearm and gets it done at the end of the day. 10 rounds, and through Slight's efforts, puts Akimbo away. We go into a quick halftime where we're going to get it together, and I think Akimbo are as well.
that's so overrated. Yeah, if you make one, you will fall. Too much of a temptation. Yeah, there's a comfort in the crawl. Now I've been on my feet too long. I know I'm strong, just looking for some solid ground, so I can start to run. I don't wanna be tired, moving so bad. I don't wanna be tired. Feels like it's my side. I don't need your light. Don't you waste your
Ten to a comeback, and Akimbo now gonna look at the defense. It's gonna take a Mongolian miracle comeback out of this squad, Vincent. Right now, they need a hope.
I mean, don't call it a comeback yet. We ain't even close to that. Slight sending it outdoor, smoking the flash that following through, and Wolf gets his before getting sidelined. Pew 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 grabs the one before he too will fall, and Laxi from Heaven is only able to take a couple of pot shots, takes Fruit Cup with him, and stays alive with Obi on the flank. It's 3v2.
Gotta come down here from the young IGL and dancing around with Freshie, just back to back, and finally Laxi stabs through, all of a sudden on the young Opera to try and make this thing go his way, dancing back to back, right here on the floor. He is on the hot seat, and right now just can't put that down. It's a third round that flies the way of Laxi's crew, and maybe that's your first ingredient to get there, Vincent? Now you can make do.
I mean, yeah, we're tossing in, you know, a little of this, a little of that. We're starting the beef in the stew of the comeback, but it's still got a lot to be desired, Marky. We still need, you know, some pampering of this stew before we get there. And just one pistol round, like, that's great, but Blue Jays get a bomb plant, and you know what that means? They're not going to let them hold back to start building up into this. They're just going to keep the pressure up. Laser focused or Blue Jays on pushing this one out and through for Nuke, make it go into the next best of one with an early lead.
Looking over in that stance, it's a little bit heavier outside, but I keep an eye on the SMGs that are around this bin. ZY, you can put up a bit of a focus towards that prong of the inner approach maybe later on. Right now, working in tandem with Cameron, who is going to be like a Swiss Army knife in this mini position. He goes down below, but he may be a missing mark here ahead of this thing, as the smoke is going to be right down towards a mini. Right now, you're just unable to read this Blue Jays squad, and then when you see the words on the page, boy, they just come back right at you. That's a huge shot that Fruit Cup gets up, and all of a sudden, 3 bodies drop over for the Blue Jays.
I mean, Blue Jays are just a step ahead. They get that early pick, and then they look for the reactions from Akimbo, and those reactions are covered at every single turn. Freshie's got another one, and Pew 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 read like a friggin' book right now. He's got no chance. As 5 survive, that's why the bomb plant means everything for Blue Jays. Pistol gods are Akimbo in very many situations. You give Obi or Laxi a pistol round, and I feel like they do miracles. Unfortunately, the gun round, a whole different story.
They're absolutely friggin' being red right now. Perhaps it's going to take a whole lot more than the packet tonight, Vincent, to keep them on this first map. A float like that, they're putting it all into the middle of the table right now.
Well, sometimes you stack the chips all in and lose. This time, Akimbo trying to do it once again. A lot of damage there onto Laxi. Cameron not off for it very much himself either. These ranged duels are so very favorable for these weapons that Blue Jays has at their disposal. Though I say that, the Deagles are still deadly. Got to be careful of those.
But Freshie just strikes outdoor, 2 out of the MP9. And Obi can spin, put a little bit of style on that Deagle all he wants. It's going to have to take some putting out to the paper right now. There had to have been a spotting on this player. And they ended up getting that down. And that wall is only so thick. There are a multitude of bullets flying through it. And I am telling you that there is one young IGL who is not walking away. And we'll have to just walk into the 16th round with their heads held high, Vincent. At this point in the game, you got to just actually put it together and see if you can make this thing prolong for as long as you can manage it, because this nuke so far has been super one-sided, and you would like to see a little bit of yellow tape put out for your squad eventually.
I mean, a little something, something. I just don't feel like nuke is where it's going to happen. Their investment. I mean, why wouldn't they? Everything in, as we had mentioned before. But there's no limits to this one. 100, 200 hold'em. And Akimbo are down bad.
Again, trying these outside smokes. There isn't really a huge amount of effort or thought that is put into the planning of this round, right? It's Blue Jays seeing what they have in their deck, and they're satisfied with their hand, right? They're willing to walk out and immediately challenge it before they're going to have to sort of set it into a different gear, because they're one round away. They're already being contacted in through lobby. It's waiting for these prolonged engagements to come right out. At this point, they realize that Akimbo may not be giving it to them. Ooh. And right now, it'll be Akimbo realizing it. Close range fight taken by Cameron 1 onto Slight.
Well, fake. So if he's dropping back down, that's not going to be the case. PPPU might have a little bit to deal with too here. Oh, but if he steps forward, he's going to be the one in trouble momentarily. The trouble comes, but it's for Fruit Cup. Who gets the one frag? ZY, relatively low, but he adds Wolf to those low HP bars. There's maybe more to be done. Freshie gets his, a 1v1 at range. These MP9s trying to farm away. ZY worse off in the duel, and it's Freshie as MP9 farms. 4 kills in that last round to close out the 13-3.
A 13-3 in this nuke not to be for the Akimbo squad. Honestly, a little bit more of a underwhelming performance out of them. We know they had a couple of different challenges waltzing into this one, but a couple of those storylines prolonged. We saw some good action out of their sub onto this map, but you know, Vincent, we have a whole nother best of one to give a spin to this. I will guarantee that this is the fight that you are yet to see by Akimbo. I expect a whole lot more than that from this roster.
You can guarantee that? I just don't feel like you can guarantee it, because I'm going to keep it a buck. We just didn't see Akimbo, like, even be in this game.
Yeah.
And part of that is Wolf. I mean, he had a great game. True of a variety of these players. I mean, Freshie was farming out here. I'm just struggling, Marky, because to me, we saw a lot of the fundamentals missing there from Akimbo. And to be completely blunt with you, I knew that was the case for them coming into this season, and I hoped that that would change as the season's gone on, but it doesn't feel like this nuke suggests that that's the case.
Yeah, and I feel like when we were looking into seeing how this Akimbo team was going to continue in the season, right? You just saw them get off on a couple of pretty nice looks, a little bit closer on the Nouns, right? You mentioned they took a map versus Marsborn, right? They've had some pretty decent cards pulled already this season, but I think kind of the biggest layout there for me was seeing ZY unfortunately fall a little bit to the back of the pack. But like I said, my prediction is I'm wondering if they're going to stay there, Vincent. We got a little bit of a break to where we hop on and sort of reset to get a whole another best of one series to get another go for Blue Jays and Akimbo tonight. Be patient. We got more Counter-Strike right over the corner.
You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. Don't just stop it. Doing what you do. When I lay back, holding on to you. Ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. Got my senses here on overload. All my body is for you to hold. Ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. You feel like something new. You feel like something. You feel like something new. You feel like something. I feel like I'm in another galaxy. Take my time in your eternity. Ooh, feel like something new. Yeah. And I never thought that you got me wanting. Never thought that never thought that never thought that I'd be saying you feel more like a dream. Yeah. Feel like something. 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 Feel like something.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Miles past, turning back, found my track, face the fact, she a cold one. Never gonna settle for none. Stay up every night till I won. Don't want a slow rise now. I'm confident opulence isn't a long ride out. When I look back now, I'm astounded. A quiet boy from old age, but always felt the world was a stage. Yeah. I celebrate one last late night. My old life ain't staying.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
I'm headed to LA. Headed on my way.
2,000 miles, throw it on the dash. Shit, the 10,000 hours, can't let them pass. Yeah, well, I was putting time in, you was pulled up wildin'. You always had shit to say, now when I see you, it's silence. Thought I have a Grammy by 25. Commas after commas next to dollar sign, yeah. To remind myself why I'm living this life. Look at all the late nights, it'll all come in due time, yeah.
Made for the fight, for the pain and the climb. Tied to the life I chose. Stay through the night, another day, not a dime. Race against time. I couldn't just lay by and wonder what I could have made mine. I'm closing on the moment, no one's gonna hold me down.
I pack my suitcase, headed out the door. I keep my shoes laced. 2,000 miles away from home. A couple dollars in my pocket, never stopped the boy before. I load my bags and hit the road.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Am I seeing double, Vincent? I believe I am. We go again here in Week 10 with the Blue Jays and Akimbo. And you know what? We're going to Mirage in this one, Vinny. If we're going to see Akimbo light up spicy at any map, I would bet it's Mirage.
Yeah, if they ain't doing it here, they ain't doing it nowhere, I think, against his Blue Jays roster. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Unfortunately, it kind of goes both ways, Marky, because Blue Jays, much as this is Akimbo's home ground in many instances, Blue Jays in the same boat. I mean, I would say, like, Blue Jays as a whole, maybe less so, but, like, Snav, like, as an individual, as a caller, definitely a home ground for him. We've seen a ton of great work. Yeah, and I think Slight's really good here, too, like, as a whole. So I think that, you know, whilst I think this isn't the best Blue Jays map, I think this is definitely a good one, and in addition to that, I think Snav feels comfy.
100%. I mean, I could go on and on about the achievements on land that I've seen Snav go ahead and grab, and I think more coincidentally than not, I could pour through those series as well. I mean, usually Mirage to go ahead and, you know, try and make that difference, I'm sure. But another one for our player to watch, right? Wolf is going to have a very, very great Blue Jays are going to be starting on that offense. We're going to be testing what Snav has got up there rather quickly.
That we do. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the game plan looks like. And I think for me, Akimbo, the game plan was what really failed them. Not the only thing that failed them, but I saw a lot of failures in the game plan and the like micro to a lot of those rounds when we were on Nuke. So on the CT side, you don't have to worry about that as much. Just got to hit the shots, and that's what Cameron's just done.
And they're going for it. It's Cameron that will continue to tap. And just like that, it's a third out of that hand cannon. Cameron continues to live and breathe here at the empty pillar, but it's looking to be filled with the blood of Akimbo right now. Deadly trades that are just on time, and now that bomb to be put down, creeping out, but just going loud. It's Laxi that is going to cause IGL Snap to go ahead and clutch. We were going ahead and expecting Snap to have to do a whole lot to get this pistol round, but not clutch, and he's got a second skull and a third. That is Snap reaching up, and you know you have heard that. It is a great way to start out Mirage, and a great day to be Snap with a 4K to hold on top of it.
Massive quad kill, and a 1v2 as well at the end that was just so necessary. He hits the instant trade onto his teammate who is planting. That's Wolf who goes down, but he makes sure that it's not in vain, that it's not of question. And despite not realizing that both players had scaled up catwalk side, he still hits the shots, never overcommitting to one of those fights. Incredible work. And when Akimbo think and look like they've done enough, Cameron 3 kills, it's just simply not good enough.
And his vibes of the second half pistol we saw at Nuke, obviously taken by the majority Mongolian side here. They're going to have to answer with tenacity, answer with confidence that fairly was put on notice with a huge individual holdout there by Cameron before muddled down. A man to watch, we saw Cameron, right? But ZY, we put a lot of focus on in the green room, and ZY just gets a shoulder lent in. That's information given over, and you see Freshies interested in investigating this.
Just feels like, you know, singing a whole same song. Here we go again. Oh, but Obi. It's the one. Pew, pew, pew. Gonna get the first frag there. Unfortunately, Wolf runs him down, and now they've split them up. Akimbo relegated over towards the B-bomb site, and they try to break back in. This nade could be deadly, but fortunately, Cameron has slipped away in time. 3v2. Cameron low. And ZY trying to claw back space. Feels like this one's already a little bit lost unless ZY hits a headshot.
Slip through that molly. ZY needs a chance here, and I mean, if it's not going to get burned out, he will just be a long let to live to witness this for another moment. The day for ZY will just continue to be more difficult. He is thrown out of the club right at the end due to the Mirage bouncer. It's Wolf with the 3K on that. Holds it all down at the MAC-10. This is looking like home for the Blue Jays at the moment.
Yeah, they haven't really been required to get fancy with it either just yet. Akimbo should be on an eco coming into this. Remember kind of what I was talking about, their T-side purchases Akimbo back on Nuke, where they, you know, bought in and continued to buy in very heavily. So they had to make a lot of concessions in their first gun round. On the CT side, that's going to be a little bit less so. But look, there's still a ton of Deagles here. So Akimbo putting all of their eggs into having a little bit more threat on these eco rounds, it feels like.
Oh, and just muddled out by Fruit Cup Bax, who swings in right through into a ramp. matter of time with these P250s given the chance to hop on the mic. And Ryan, there's nothing coming out of that mouth for the moment. Maybe for Freshie to go ahead and see onto the lamb, but he's not even going to be pulled over on 17 health. He is right away. And it's ZY, LMS again, Vinny? Hard knock life.
Sure seems like it. Got a question, though. Why you add the X on there? Fruit Cup X.
Fruit Cup X.
Is that like, did he request that be added every time, or does it sound cooler?
I think it has a good vibration to it. Has a good oomph coming out of my out of my mouth here.
Like X Games?
Like X Games. Fruit Cup X.
But not like your old like Xbox tag. XX Cool Kid XX.
So I can
not
confirm
like
that obviously Boss got to go see into Shanghai, right? And they got those very cool major jackets.
Yes.
It says Fruit Cup X on the back, including the X, so I'm going to pronounce it.
Oh, it does. It does.
Homeboy was wearing that at the airport. I got to see a lot of I was about to say Boss crew. I ran into Snav on the way out of Philadelphia as well, and he informed me that they were a top 30 team according to the VRS rankings that day.
Impressive. What do the VRS rankings say today?
40, I believe, at the moment.
40. Well, downward trajectory, but it's not a spiral. So now there's a lot of utility flying his way, but he unaffected.
And not a man that's ever a stranger to having to get his hands dirty right now. ZY, we've been commenting time and time again that he has been up, letting to do the dirty work back at these rounds. He gets that opening kill, and then Obi is just going to enrich that. He gets popped through window. This is going a little bit too quick for me, Vincent. The trade down below, A sights online, and all of a sudden 3 kills on the way for the Blue Jays, who have just flown in and knocked out all the competition.
Oh, and Fresh is going to escape into the smoke, so once again, Akimbo, they had an advantage. Now it's pulled back, a 2-on-4 essentially for Blue Jays. Now a 2-on-2, doubled up, Freshie and Fruit Cup. Both in CT. And they got to respect this smoke. This is deadly. Crucial time, bought off the clock by that smoke grenade. And now Cameron and ZY look to press forward, but as you highlight, no kit is devastating, but they got a smoke on the bomb.
And that's going to make the fight out of CT a little bit more difficult. Cameron looks to try and play guard right here, but see why he is not even on the bomb, and Freshie continues to fry. Up to 5 frags here at the beginning of this Mirage, but boy, we called him the Canadian Cornerstone right at the beginning of Nuke. That's a little nickname I love to throw at him time and time again, because he literally does kind of have that essence on this squad, and there in the late round pitches it up again. Again, a great start from the Blue Jays right here, and they already have an op in the hands of Slight. Okay.
Well, you know, sometimes I come at you for your silly nicknames, but I think that one is absolutely killer because it's so accurate to kind of what his role is. And there's 100%. That opening duel. Slight gets up into the mix, and you know, this is where you really would rely on Neo on this game for Akimbo to try and answer some of this aggro opping that Slight looks to put together, but he's not here, so that's not going to be an option.
Working and developing the presence in middle time and time again. Last round, it was right out of undercutting a lot of the prowess that Akimbo already did have inclined into those middle spots. When the smokes faded, they got punished. And right here, it's this Blue Jays effort, at least pointed into the A side with that amount of respect. CY with the flank to collect information. Hopefully a couple of kills, only gets the info and gets punished. So it's going to be up to the rest of Akimbo to try and lay in a dent. And Laxi puts in a good bit of work, and a 5-7 the chips off from CT. 50 seconds and this gets concerning.
Yeah, the bomb dropped is the even more frustrating part. Snav, quick adjustment, but not quick enough. Laxi with a triple kill now. And Slight's AWP opened the round, but he's teed up to close. That Molotov is going to create some separation. Glock comes out, but Slight gets dinked. The turn is there, and no, he's not fast enough. Cameron is so far away. Bomb able to be collected, but Slight wants to force the fight.
Bomb is all the way at a ramp at the moment. Slight had murder on his mind, trying to track down the kill immediately, is not even going to have the room to do so. Cameron could not show his face for the rest of this round and get out with the win, but just chucked out right in the middle of the air. Pound is the clay pigeon, and Cameron gets that first round on the board for Akimbo. Can't grab the cherry on top right at the end, but that first round is going to be that sweet.
Well, that's the kind of win condition that Akimbo need for very many of these games, right? Especially when they're looking up, I think, rather than punching down at a team like Blue Jays. You need Laxi in this phenomenal form that we know that he can provide. It has been very much feast or famine sometimes for him, but when it's feast, it's absolutely brilliant, and that's one of those rounds that show off that brilliance that we talk about.
And sort of lenting into the point we were just on 2 rounds ago, right? It's Obi that is, like, donning that op role. We didn't even get that far on Nuke. Obviously, Neo's presence, rather the kind of lack thereof, definitely felt into the server at this point for an Akimbo crew that is looking to bolster their resume with a quality performance here on this Mirage. And Laxi about to get a whole lot of contact and can't even see into what he's fighting. Perfect look in from Snap to set up his fighters and maybe a second out of the bench position.
But it seems like, you know, Akimbo, this is kind of their modus operandi for mid is to play off of the contact of Laxi, ZY to play from that, and then Obi to get involved. It's that back and forth swing of a pendulum that they like to play for, and rely, as you had highlighted back on Nuke, those individual skills that are often so critical. Akimbo can't quite lean onto those this round. It's a fast flick, but it's not connected. Freshie bests the AWP, a secondary opper in this team, but Obi, unfortunately, not able to connect as that flashbang perfect to force Cameron off the angle. It's looking unlikely Akimbo can break back in.
Last 2 spotted in CT. I promise you, they will not be going out alive. 2 health for Cameron. Too many options. Pick your poison. Well, you got 5 different players coming down the bin for you, and it's a 5th round that Blue Jays post up on the board right on time.
Blue Jays Singularity is currently being put together on Mirage.
Okay, we have a bit of information in from Twitch chat. Miss Fruit Cup X, shout out to the one that supports the Fruit Cup, said that Fruit Cup was taken. Had to add the X, which, look, I don't know how we didn't lend into that, right? You might have been XX Vinny Cass at one point. We don't know. XX at the end, of course.
That was not me.
Many were.
Could have been, though. See if this is forced by, half by more accurately, excuse me. Can have any effectiveness. Fruit Cup's already found one. Doubled up there under the balcony on that nade's going to be devastating for Cameron. Already broken away is Laxi. Do they know that there's a second man here? Oh, definitely with that nade, surely. As they target him once again.
Going down the ladder. Snap's right next to him. Snap is right next to him in that smoke. No way! And it's Snap that finds him. Oh, the shenanigans of the Mirage A executes. Though Snap makes it look like a deathmatch server gets a second right now, and Pew Pew would have to have a similar type of impression in order to come out of a clutch like that. It's the clutch that Blue Jays never let go of. They are speeding through this Mirage.
Well, it feels like it's been speed all day, right? Nuke was speedy quick. 10-2 half, followed up by 13-3 close. And it doesn't seem like Blue Jays are taking their foot off of it. We'll see if Obi, who, I mean, I didn't really get to highlight it, but is a proficient opper. He's the secondary opper for this team. You see him pick it up a lot. They double up on Dust 2 very often. That's a slight swing that is difficult to best when Laxi only has a rifle.
I got a feeling they are not going to be leaving Connector alone for a moment, but then again, I mean, these extremities have just been up for no debate. That's why Cameron is going to have some powerful words in middle through Connector. Holds a very tight ship, and he's got 2 frags out of that. ZY maybe on the perfect timing as well. Right now, Akimbo could crawl themselves back in the round, but this timing just becomes that much more eerie. These middle players walked right past each other. Oh, but Slight may have been given a little bit of a hint, and it's going to turn into the full reward. Beautiful work that gets out the rotation with 55 seconds left and the ops under. What the heck is happening here, Vincent?
Yeah, it's a little concerning just because the bomb is in Palace right now. I don't know about that, but Fruit Cup is full clear at A, so, to a certain degree they have that space, but they don't know about jungle, and ZY has just confirmed this player top mid, so his Slight's attempted exit is removed. Cameron's got to tuck in, and they have control of CT. This should be just fine.
This has been Fruit Cup's wheelhouse for all that he has managed on these T-side lurking efforts. A nade that could have taken all of Cameron's name right there. Just leaves him with a hair of health. And the fire for Wolfie to just try and lurk around. It's ZY that looks right into the sight, right next to that player, onto the low HP Cameron. And how do you dare challenge into a clutch like this? You're about to be in cuffs, you're about to be put down, and you're about to be up by 6 rounds. It is beautiful work out here by the Blue Jays as they just steamroll.
I mean, that's another tentative advantage for Akimbo that they're not able to close. Cameron, he does so much. He picks up that double spray down in connector, and you would think that that can be an avenue of approach for them back into this round, but yet no. With Laxi down early, it's patience applied there by Slight, who plays it slow. Is Fruit Cup going to take the AWP this round? He's got a spawn, I would presume. Yeah, taking the A spawn. Getting the boost up, and doesn't see anyone.
He had a nice shot when trying to save the op back on Nuke. I can lend into assuming that I gotta say Fruit Cup might be a guy, but after that shot, I don't know if he is one that belongs on the do not op list. Given the AK back over, more evidence to that cause. I'm willing that into example. I could have no idea.
NACS pros are on the do not op list.
Just riflers. Just ones that are too good to gripe with. Wouldn't exactly take that AK out of his hands. Wouldn't want to take it out of Freshies either. You see why. It's a nice shot. You're going to have to be so dang ready for this. And Snap just decapitates Cameron. And that one is going to be personal.
Well, that's a little bit of a dicey proposition here. Laxi's through Palace. The rotation's going to come back towards A, I believe. Are they going to be knowing? No, Laxi doesn't actually stick around, so he's just sitting here maintaining position in Palace, and in the meantime, ZY rotates to B off the back of a little bit of contact made by Freshie. This is nasty as Fruit Cup lurked out. It might be rough timing. Fruit Cup doesn't see. Oh, he doesn't see, but the shots come through. It's not the perfect weapon, but Laxi does connect. Snap's trade is perfection, and it's enough to ensure the A-bomb site is in Blue Jays' hands.
Got to do their due diligence. A bit of quick check in the CT. They flash on upon it. Freshie caught down below. It's a headshot to the low HP anchor. And right now, Snap and Slight are going to have to go like Freshie and Fruit Cup did. Just 1 round to go. All down onto the man that holds the scope. How does he go along so confidently? Walks to triple and wants to do this his way. This is a Slight clutch if he's ever seen one. Ready for the peek into CT and is so ready for it. A second peek he's got to pin in, and now getting challenged for it. ZY up to go. Didn't even need to hit mouse 1. Fine with the scope and good to complete. It is Slight that won't even let you compete.
I mean, Slight, you saw it in his body language there. Yeah, within the game, the confidence that he had, he believed that he was winning that from the very beginning. That was his clutch to win. He was positioning as such that he could not miss, and he would not miss at any point in time. That's the way Blue Jays have been playing, and in a clutch scenario, Slight delivers again. Blue Jays now, I mean, what is that? The third around this map that, Akimbo have had an opportunity, an advantage even, a massive one at times, and not been able to close it.
Desperate times call for desperate measures, and they're walking Obi up mid with that scope just on ankle on Freshie. Wasn't ready for the full press in. Wolf is going to be ready for the second check back up. That's Cameron that had to get in on the aggressive trade. Couldn't carry it out. However, the rest of Akimbo, they are meaning well. It's Laxi that gets this kill over towards A, and now Slight and Wolf are going to have to manage. But the clutches haven't fretted them before.
PPP still here on the B-bomb site, though, and that's where Wolf is going to press forward. His double kill in Underpass allowed for them to bring this round back a little bit, but Blue Jays still a large task ahead of them. Timing. Is it going to be better? All for PPP. Yes, it will. Hits the shot, takes the nade damage, and the follow-up isn't going to be enough for Slight as all that utility flies by, but his gun cannot fire correctly. His clutch last round forgotten as Akimbo looked their sights set forward for a second.
We were about at this 8-2 point coming out of that CT side performance of Blue Jays on Nuke. And it was just grim hope. It was scenes that did not have the light about them. But with Cameron having the op this time, rather doubled up with Obi, that's the next up in order. We'll see if he can respond to the challenge.
First time, really, that Blue Jays have been affected by the economy over the course of this map. Great flashbang. PPP is blinded for days, but that smoke grenade that allows them to scale towards the CT side, it also denies vision for the T's as well.
It's Slight that is already just sprinting through spawn. And if my eyes are not mistaking me, it's already Fruit Cup out already onto the corner of under or upper balk. They have positioning. Wouldn't expect it to be right here. Yeah, this is just so difficult to work with. How do you even predict a spot like this? The only split of this fight that you can go ahead and try and read is this part up connector, which so far seems to be going their way. It's a double and a triple out of Cameron before he goes down, setting up Akimbo to go ahead and take advantage of a 2v2. Two full HP players, but two of the most line clutchers of this game still alive.
I can't believe Snav's going to fight that again, but hey, Slight, how about another clutch? He's just gotten another vision. Grabs the first. Looking for the AK instead. No, keeps the up. A mistake as he settles in for the long road ahead. Tucked into CT. And two frags already. Tap onto the bomb for ZY. Elevates his position. Oh, but on the jump, the timing's just not for him. And with the kit in hand, time's still ticking, and he's not on it. He's lost out, and a Glock is enough for Slight to devastate the chances again of Akimbo putting together multiple rounds in a row.
It's a nightmare, and right now Akimbo are going to need somebody to shake them to wake them up. The clutches have been going the way of Blue Jays. Anything you've tried your hand at in the early rounds, you've only gotten a taste of the success. It has really been a one-sided coin to this Mirage, and I'm not sure it's going to flip.
Well, you know, the difference is that Akimbo in this match, they've really done a lot of different things to try to change this up, and all of those haven't even been unsuccessful. It's just that Blue Jays' late round has always been successful. They've never failed when it comes down to, like, even a 2-on-4.
They briefly check themselves into middle. They don't see a soul, but there's one man that will continue to patrol. It's Slight that gets the opening frag here at the end of the first half, and we'll see if Blue Jays is going to be able to make it double digits while they still have an argument about it in the first half. That would be quite a mark to grab.
Could be the double up on the 10-2s. Regroup for Blue Jays as they approach the A-bomb site. Got Cameron, who's been fantastic. He's kind of led the charge for Akimbo in all of these rounds. A triple kill to try and set them up for success last round. A double kill in connector that nearly allows them victory elsewhere.
They already spilled blood here before, and it's with the 26 health player you see on your screen that will just be the spearhead into the site. Snav just barreling through on a MAC-10. Has to unravel these wrinkles while you still can. It's Snav that's so clean. It's a good check onto Laxi, who gets one before he goes down. But now with 2v4, and the mountain that you've been staring up this entire time is the one you're going to have to climb end of the half. Freshie puts this into an unreasonable, unwinnable situation that Fruit Cup just puts the exclamation point on. Class is in session, and right now, all 10 points, they are brought over to this Fruit Cup side. My goodness, the Blue Jays, they're passing with flying colors. We'll see you after this half.
I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose. Put the evil in the devil and I'm let it loose. I'm an earthquake, make your bones shake. There's no question I'm the king, I always dominate. A force to be reckoned with, better remember it. Look at what I can do, walking all over you. Incredible, it's criminal. I never lose, I'm bulletproof. I'm bulletproof, don't ever lose.
Well, here we are again. Blue Jays leading by 8 rounds, another 10-2 half they have put up here tonight in Challenger League, Vincent. It's vicious, it's intimidating, but they got another half of ball to play.
They do, but that half may just be cut short by Blue Jays' dominant showing in the first. I think that, now they just got to prepare themselves, set themselves in motion as the T side gets rolling. Palace Pop will get onto the site, but they won't be able to hold on for long. It's Freshie for a triple kill with Snav's coverage from CT. Oh, Blue Jays. Talk about stepping up and starting where you ended. They dominate the pistol.
This is just a masterclass upon snaps thrown today. 11 rounds for Blue Jays, and I mean, they are just in another gear tonight, right? I mean, the last couple of days, we were talking about it in the original pregame, they've had to play plenty of quality opponents, right? Beat NRG in the last couple of days, had a more one-sided affair in a best of five against M80, but a couple of those maps were a little bit closer than the scorelines would suggest. It's this Blue Jays team that knows it's time to perform, right? It's like a student knowing that finals are going to come up. They're nice and studied for it. When their time goes to shine in that MRQ, I know that they are going to be wanting to take full advantage.
Well, here's what I know. Lexi, Deagle, Middle, Mirage. That is a combination of words that goes together. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, he's alone in that endeavor. Now low and out of the round. Double kill for Lexi. It ain't enough to pull this back. Cameron's Deag will have to be the one to do so.
See what Cameron could go ahead and sprawl back from. Can't even get Slight. He was working so dang hard for back at that empty pillar right now. And if there was anything to illustrate just the absolute difference that you were seeing on the court tonight, I mean, go ahead and take a look at the kills that are coming through on this Mirage performance by Blue Jays. I mean, this is a farm out of almost every single player, right? And when it's Fruit Cup, the only player that's below double digits, well, you have a plethora of talent on this team, and it is just screaming from the rooftops.
Yeah, that's why it's so brilliant to see like Freshie in this current form. It's nasty with he, Wolf, Fruit Cup, Slight, Allfire. Oh, and also
is this how it ends? No way!
It's a double with the nade. And
Not
that
like
is
this.
how it ends. ZY falls. And that'll be 13-2. 13-2 and 13-3. 5 rounds total over 2 maps.
Crippling, bruising, and you know what? The Blue Jays, well, they had something to go ahead and make a statement about. Nothing to prove, right? We know how deadly they can be, but yesterday didn't go the way that they wanted, didn't get to let in and see into the officials last night, had to go and unfortunately forfeit those games versus getting info. That would have been a ball to, appear at. Getting to see that hopefully in playoffs when those teams will meet back up. But obviously the aforementioned M80 series, here they come in today, and my goodness, do they look bulletproof.
They do. And, I think that, this Akimbo game, it's certainly not the most competitive that team-wise that I think that Blue Jays would have like had to play in this season. But I tell you what, man, Wolf has been a constant factor and was a constant factor today. 30 kills over 2 maps in which, they barely even gave up a round.
Yeah, I really am pretty excited for the moves and how they age. I mean, just so fine, right? Like, when we were in the off season, I mean, right after, that fateful New Year's Eve when a lot of these crazy kind of mixes were going on and through, right? I mean, we heard the rumors, like the mill of where Wolf can end up, right? Where the Boss was going to head and pick an in-game leader, right? I mean, we heard that their first choice was not Snav, but I mean, you watch any LAN in the past year, well, he may be the best IGL with the most accomplishments within the region, right? I mean, I was having flashbacks to that Fisher College Philadelphia final that they had against Timberman where Snav was playing with Cameron and having that success. I remember those games were so close, just working off of what they had.
I mean, those games were close, and that team, with the exception of Cameron and Snav, that was not even a very good Timberman iteration. And they were still very competitive. So, yeah, no doubt about it. I think that, Akimbo meeting their match tonight, it's an expectation. Blue Jays, the world is their oyster right now. Lovely to see Blue Jays coming back into the scene and picking up a team with so much potential as we go into the most important part of this year thus far here, in the next 2 weeks.
I mean, 100%, right? You got to hit your stride at the correct time. You see a graphic, a line that just popped up on your screen. Obviously, that Akimbo map win streak has just been ended tonight in glorious fashion. But boy, those Blue Jays are, I mean, even through what did we talk about? Freshie here out of the game. We spoke about Snav. We spoke about Wolf. Easily the man that had the most clutches tonight. Slight, I don't think we've had the moment to mention here, but I was little disappointed we didn't get that battle of Slight and Neo in the server. We'll just have to check back up next ESL Challenger League season to see where Akimbo are at with that.
Yeah, I think that this is a team that's building. They need some changes coming into next season. That's my like takeaway. But I don't think, they're not out of the conversation for playoffs. They could eke their way in. I just think that they need to refocus a little bit beyond the punchy, fast paced play that they love to get behind. I just think that they find that isn't going to work for them. Into teams like Blue Jays, who have been dominant and have been showing that that won't work, as we saw tonight.
Gonna need to bring a little bit more of that entourage along with you when, you gotta play into the big boss. It's the Blue Jays that are just gonna carry you away like prey. They absolutely did. It was a dominant showing tonight. And with this top 5, top 6 teams in ECL going into playoffs, right? We still have, weeks 11 and 12 to get through here before that forms, Vincent. But down to the wire here, I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular. But like I said, right, we still have that coming along, Vincent. We're only in week 10, but I know that you and I have absolutely loved seeing the games so far this season on Challenger League. They have been absolutely spectacular.
They have, yeah, and a spectacular night of Counter-Strike ended in that fashion, despite the fact that Blue Jays dominated. I had a lot of fun with you, Marky, as we always do, my friend.
We always have a wonderful, wonderful affair as we get to check back in on the story of North America and how these teams are going to be lenting into that next step of the season, the next step of these weeks, as we have gracefully outlined for you. But as much as Vincent and I would love to keep you occupied, would love to keep crashing out on our affair, look, it was Blue Jays that lent us into a quick day at the office. So we are going to have to say goodbye to all of you. Again, thank you so much for coming and supporting Season 49 of Challenger League tonight, supporting everybody behind production, behind those buttons that make it all go. A final goodbye and a final thank you from Vincent and I, and we see on to the next week of ESL Challenger League. We'll see you back in week 10. We'll see you back in week 11. Have a great night, everybody.
We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones.